Hey y'all, N4H&H here. I want to show you something funny. I was working some FT8 over on 40 meters and I just moved to 20 meters and I've been using the amplifier tonight. I don't usually run 50 watts, but yeah, I've been having this situation where people move in over the top of where I've been transmitting, and it happened to me 3 times last night. So I thought, well, tomorrow night I think I'm going to use, of course, the only thing you can do when somebody moves in where you are is move, and I covered that in another video about how to, keep an eye on that spectrum scope up there, see where you are parked, and notice if you see yellow or orange on the receive cycle, because that's not you. And sometimes it's an honest mistake. Somebody worked you and then they forgot to move somewhere else and they started calling CQ. That's happening right now, as a matter of fact. But so I moved over to 20 meters, and before I wanted to engage the amp, I had my power turned down over here on the power slider, which, remember, that works like a volume control. My radio is set at 100 watts. This is adjusted with the using the audio controls in the computer in conjunction with the rear port gain on the FTDX10 here, or you could do the any radio, but whatever the equivalent is of a rear port gain, and you adjust it to where when the power slider is all the way up, you get near 100 watts with no ALC action. Well, then when you drop this power slider down to say negative 3.1, because there's not a negative 3, you should get somewhere around 50 watts. It usually winds up being about 55 or 60. So I usually go down to negative 3.4. So remember that this, even though it says power, it's not really watts, it's volume to the radio, to the transmitter. And of course, just like, since it's sideband, it's just like when you're talking to your mic. The louder the volume, the more watts out. The lower the volume, the less watts out. So here's what happened. I moved over to 20 meters, haven't done anything other than move over, and I thought, well, my antenna tuner over here in the Elecraft, I'll move it over there so you can see. So this has an integrated antenna tuner, and I'm using my doublet antenna. See, that's antenna 2. Antenna 1 is going over to my ZS6 BKW. That's standby operate, so right now I'm in standby. Notice I use the antenna tuner, that's antenna tuner engaged, with the doublet on this band. So I needed to verify that my SWR was good, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what happened. Over here, I had put out, I'll do it one more time. Let me log this one. I'm gonna go ahead and let you see how much power I'm gonna log it at. See, the last time I was on 40 meters, I used 538 watts. I just worked a guy 5,453 miles. 5,453 miles. Lima Zulu 1 Lima Zulu. See that under call? Lima Zulu 1 Lima Zulu with 11 watts. Okay, so I'll show you how that happened. Let me do it again. Go ahead and log this one. And so the power slider is down at negative 10.1. That gets about 10, 11, 9, somewhere along in there. Depends on, how it is with FT8. It depends on exactly where you are in this frequency spectrum as to, it'll fluctuate the watts up or down a little bit. It worked out that in that last transmission, it was 11 watts. So I'm going to go ahead and enable CQ again, and you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so look, 12 now. See the power output over there on the watt meter from that's the remote control for the amplifier. I've got it in vertical mode right now. What's cool is when I fire up WSJTX, when I fire up the JT Sync over there for synchronizing time, and of course WSJTX and the KPA 1500 control software, they all return to that area of the screen that I have them preset on. So look, 11 watts, and I got another taker 1,845 miles away, KB8 UIP. So I'm working these stations with well, this time 12 watts. 12 watts. So let me turn that down a little bit. We don't need that volume. And he says I was a plus 0.5. He was a plus 0.9, so he's doing quite well. Plus 0.5 with 12 watts. Oh, now it's showing 11 watts. So yeah, it's averaging around 11. You know, it fluctuates a little bit with those tones. Those 8 tones are modulating, kind of like our voice would. So let's see, once it closes this one out, I'll turn the amp on. There we go. So I'm gonna call that 11 watts again. All right, this time I'm going over here to the control software for the amp. Let me move up a little bit, and you'll see right there it's in standby. I'm going to switch it to operate. I'll stay with antenna 2. The doublet has a lot of gain on 20 meters and a low takeoff angle, so I'll stick with that. I'll pan up so you can see the power and SWR, and I'm going to engage transmit. All right, so I'm at 560, 74, 64, 57, 54. Heard the fan kick on. Amplifier is at 49 degrees Celsius. We'll see what kind of a report I get now. Oh, I got 2 comebackers. Let's see. First one's going to be a German station, DL8 Mike Romeo Echo. And he is plus 0.3 to me. So we'll see. Let's try to train the camera so you can see both. There we go. I know it's a little bit angled, just sorry about that. It's just kind of the way the camera is sitting here on the desk and aiming up at that. I don't have a professional photographer. I'm a one-man show here. So now we're somewhere around 527 watts, that last transmission. I just thought it was really cool, that first station, over 5,000 miles and at 11 watts. Okay, he gave me a minus 16. Wow. With me running that kind of power, but he was a plus 0.3. Now I'll show you all a little bonus here in a second. Something that I've tried, and so anecdotally I'm going to tell you it seems to help. Let me go ahead and send CQ again. So over on the FTDX10, let me get to the buttons here. Digital noise reduction. Running it at 5. I've noticed that using the digital, now remember, so it's all about signal to noise ratio. Well, think about it, digital noise reduction. So that was running it at 5. Over on 40 meters, I ran it all the way at 15. So I'm going to go ahead and run it at 15 this time. Again, the idea being I'm separating the noise from the tones. So it's sideband, right? So it should work, you know, on the same concept as if I was trying to work somebody with voice, the DNR. Now at 15 on sideband, they get very dull sounding, but the noise is virtually gone. Well, in this case, it's those 8 penetrating tones. So I'm not too worried about fidelity. So I'm going to let the digital noise reduction do its thing at improving the signal to noise ratio. I should have made this 2 videos, but I was able to fit it both in one, and you know, so far I'm under 10 minutes. So I just wanted you to see that. Now we'll get back up here trained on the WSJTX. Oh, got another one to log here. And that's 527 is what that was hovering around. I need to go back and fix that other one. I think I forgot to change it from 11. I'll fix it in the log before I export the log into QRZ. So I only made 2 contacts at 11 watts. So I'll just look in my log file, you know, the log file, the ADI file. I've shown you that somewhere, I know. And if you have my PDF for configuring FT8, I cover that near the end of that PDF. So we've got a UT3RS, 5,469 miles. He's a -07 to me. And let's see, -07. So we'll see what he gives me. -11. And I'm at 527, 35, 27, 18, 20, 10, 8, 40, 490, 510. About 510. So again, the tones, the multiple tones are modulating just like our voice would. I'm going to call that 510 watts. So, time to log it. Okay, probably a lot of y'all just say, just round it down, call it 500 watts. That's probably legit. All right, well, I just wanted you to see that. I'll end the video here, but appreciate you watching and hope you picked up a tip from that. Okay, I hope you found the video helpful and informative. Thank you to the Patreon support team who bring you these videos. If you're watching a video now, it's because of what I call the long haulers. They've joined through the Patreon program and supported this channel for a year and 2 and even more. Those long haulers are what, you know, funds the channel enough that I can keep these videos coming. I appreciate any level you can help, though. There are 3 levels of support. You can find one that's comfortable for you if you like this type of content and want to see it continue. You can vote, as they say, vote with your wallet to help offset the cost of doing this. To join that team, go to www.patreon.com/N4HNH. That's patreon.com/N4HNH. And if you would, give the video a thumbs up, a like. That helps us out with YouTube's search algorithm and costs you nothing, and you're actually helping the channel by doing that. And also consider subscribing to the channel. That helps as well. If you do subscribe, be sure to click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a new video, usually 2 a week, occasionally a 3rd. And also, finally, if you would, please share the link to this video on social media, text message, email, or phone a friend. Hey, thanks again for watching, and 73 from N4HNH.